2022 sani amaka no ye behwe normal ekoso nsem bia chese di mu akotene ye kan ho asem wo 2021 na chirese ya pense normal bia normal bi so ye wia na chirese ye busa counselor so na dwenchire na se na dwempo ana se nchiremu akwa chire efa nsem a waka ne ho enti yenhwe ye first video na chirese ye di nyina so atwaso.
Every man is a man, but not all men are men. Or baby, you at the age of 20, I copy him 30 years, sir. So 10 years interval, you know. One you baby, I became Panano Hunimfi, no about 24, 25, 28, 30, 40, 40. Or say, where you was soon our dear.
Yeah.
Was soon panaching, we're doing pens, when you or you're responsible.
Yeah.
But I want to tell everybody watching, especially the women, to understand that if you do what baby, and Chelsea was soon our dear and panaching. It is a upia bontin woba, na meme nyina se wope, na meme nyina se wo mopel, na meme bi so be ka kire so wopewa. You need to identify his class. Yeah. In other words, it is not the looks we are just talking about, but how mature does he sound?
Types of men. And chile say ya born sisia na counselor and some o kan ultimu say chile say woto ubo ase na utie ni ye efutupa na ode mai na emome wo asembisa efa sa video yi ho counselor wo say mfie eye ade a ye nheda enhwe
yeah
ye ko empepeso bia na ye duru awade mfie so a mfie nya de a ye de hwe kasa nipa aso awade anase asumasi esanse wadi mfie seilinti aso awade.
Yeah.
But then counselor, age comes with experience. Naturally say wo nyine ko wanim no na no ma bi abrabo afa wo famu ni nyina ma onyansa nketenkete bia wo bia wadi mfie bi ennim anase enkotoe nti adenti na wo kase mfie yade a eni kwanse yede yadwen ekoso.
My experience at the age of 40 is not the same experience somebody will have at the age of 40.
Yeah.
Now, so I talk about age saying, say, we are bar. They don't pen so I was a what is what. Yeah, don't look at the age, the stature, and then look and say that Bema way there was soon our day, and I will bar the crown was soon our day.
Yeah.
So this is what I want to talk about. Maturity is not just about age, number one.
Yeah.
Being matured has to do with the things you have gone through and what you learn from people going through what they are going through.
Okay.
Now, there are many people at their age, 40, 50, they have not been able to grow to be mature. In other words, they have decided not to pay attention to age and the process of life. When you 40, the soon in the bank, that is so be already 25. When you 40, the soon in the bank, that is so be already 45. Adentina yen 40. Now bakwaba from bakwakosro. Number one, bakudia, he's been able to pay attention to life and the process of life.
Okay. What
they go through, what he has been experiencing, and what other people go through that he has decided to learn from. Even what he is going through, he's not ready to listen, put his eye down, allow himself to go through the process and learn. And you will be on the party, you'll be a the old come and it's normal. And that is why a lot of people keep repeating mistakes. So you go like, last year, yes, Sebi. Then you conclude and say, now one way is that Sebi, I don't want Jimmy and Sebi, and I want you. Only me, but the truth is that one ring. On Jimmy, but on ring. Yeah, guys who are being here, they don't put their minds to work.
Okay.
Education is nothing. Talent is worthless if you cannot think.
True.
And so we are saying that think. And those who are thinkers are those who are ready to master their lives. Etina make us say, "When you are now do fear be and we share baby when 30, 40, 50." Don't just jump and accept their proposal in the name of stature and age. Just make sure that number one, let me say this, please. to assess a man's maturity, when you listen to how they present themselves, but how they speak, you know them.
True.
Don't remember, Robert Valerie was saying. When he said last, we catch some people, 1 month, you catch them so go. Still, send your casacran in the position and in the posture. They send your crowd to say, Akwe, Wanya Jonwa, or your Peter. Like, this guy is not really a serious person. Like, Onya will be all your future minded, you know, visionary. He's not a planner. He's not somebody who's authentic. He's not ready for life. The position, the guest, Bibi or you be able to say, as a kola, a grow. So, but I could say, Valerie, it's saying, I think last 2 months I spoke to you, I proposed to you, and I've been waiting, but you haven't said, we should send the what rest of us. I couldn't any but I couldn't see the idea. Now, my soul person won't feel, and I don't say a day. So, you know, to say, so don't look at age. Age does not define a man's standard. If you are making so for me, don't put your mind on age. Go look for maturity, mentally, psychologically, and emotionally.
Mentally, psychologically, and emotionally. Naturally, se ni nyina ka ho bi na man no eyemu a nipa na dream po ne feelings se ne wo dream fa ne bibia ni nyina e ka ho bi na counselor susu say it is part of maturity. Inti yensa share the next video na fe yenje eno so ehun yendi eno so honko.
Player can decide to date you 6 months, no sex. Will not talk about sex. Will not act funny. Keep spending. Empty and bell. What happened?
Tigo
hebo. They make you feel so good and excited. And they take you to restaurant upon restaurant. And then when you are going $1,500, $200, my God. Oh, I send this guy the so like, what a gentleman. For 2 months, only man is sexing that. Sister, and your phone Kasabian player and Kasabian. What to me for a player as a player, watch away. And remember, who fear and made these chaos.
Counselor.
Yes.
The nation's counselor. Man of the year 2021.
Amen. I got
2022 dear. Okay. It's a counselor with the issue of players.
Yes.
Is it just sex? And you classify and as you painting here say, okay, once this person is talking about the subject of sex, nature is a player.
This is just a part of what I said.
True.
Nevertheless, sex is part. And then let me say this, emphatically stress on it, and say it again, that about 2022, and say it again, that one will say, you better count the other ones, but ultimately, the crowd will say, most of the players, they demand sex. And I want to repeat what it. We are about Shemia, see me. Sika, obey to me the you. I mean, I know what you want. iPhone, I'm buying it for you. Samsung, I want to get it for you. Bobo D, I'll get it for you. I know what, probably you share and phone and come back around every boy, I'm going to school fees. I'll get it for you. Anything that is connected to money, once I have money. See, when a man has $1 billion, giving you $1,000 is nothing for him. Knowing what he wants from you, that money is nothing. For you, so you go like, but did $1,000, so no matter that $1,000 for him is nothing. They make out to myself.
Yes.
Now, I come back to see that. No best friend, and you no penny science. Say spending or the yimi or the way and truck or to be track that but ultimately the master key has to do with sex. Now I keep saying that. Ushia Bema. I was talking about players.
Yeah.
How to identify a player. Ushia Bema. Now the same day they met you, they start acting funny towards sex. It is a trademark, a red flag, a sign that you need to push back, stand afar off, and look well. The reason is that once somebody demands sex, they are actually telling you that this is my perception towards you. Yeah. This is my idea. Yeah. This is how I see you. Now, the truth is that if I see you today within 3 days and I start demanding money, what makes me think I can say that to you? What have I seen about you that makes me feel that I can tell you that I need sex? Or from my gestures, my body attitude, the way I do things, it gives you a sign that I can obey. Adentia. Now me busa say, then wabani ye na then abema na dream. Do I see it to be that cheap that I can get her within a day, 2, 3, 4 days? No. So what is wrong with the gentleman? Then you must know that he is officially a player.
Oh, okay.
So the sex is actually the ultimate. Nevertheless, lies. But then I was thinking, say, every guy who is occupied but still, not married, will go about telling everybody they are single. Why would they say they are single whilst they are occupied, not married, but dating or courting? They say that because they want to lie, knowing that if they don't lie, they can't get into your panty. So there are many factors, but then the ultimate thing is that a man who demands sex too fast, watch out.
Okay. In the nature se futu a yen video sa ye hwe counselor futu a wo san sisu biem wo man stamp bebrebe ni nyina 2021 ho nsensem ti nature se 2022 de wo se utu hufo na wo de ye ade a kire se beboa wo se ne be ya wo betimi navigate 2022 ye na bibia akoso kama ede ama. Let's watch the next video. Yen hwe video fofra ewo.
Fried rice to check. They your friend check and they say mix and shut down fast by ye. Now some of the men you are dating, they are check. They are not original fried rice from a good restaurant. And when you eat at the moment, you'll be satisfied by training suyum. The fear yes all visiting nature school. I want to say where do you have the money?
Bad and say ya na mani age ama na broso so we say we dey nipa ho check na nipa ho fried rice counselor says you should dey na chire mu man.
No, I was saying that most men are not what they look. Yeah, looks can be very deceptive.
True,
but so you need to understand that just by looking looking at his appearance and looking at how he looks and talk does not identify the person who is proposing to you. So to be able to get him right and know that on your check no your original fried rice, you need to get inside and know the taste well. Because a movie then you start visiting the nature school. True. That means that he looks nice, he looks good, he presented himself as a nice gentleman. Speak, his speech, happens to be very well. But when no started dating, I was say, but if I knew this how you were, I wouldn't have accepted your proposal. Hey, now for second, Nana. I got to go shine away. Hey, and man must know we are so then to coaching G when you be a winner. Where check. And they were fried rice. Because very expensive. He looks nice, and then when you eat him, are you edible? Yeah. Are you enjoyable?
Yeah.
I know say stayable.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a good English anyway. But I'm trying to say that there are guys or there are men who are, fried rice. There are other ones who are just check. They are mixed attitude. Yeah. If you pick them and you think you are safe, you are about to die. So therefore, if you're a woman, before you say yes, Jack, just take your time and taste them. When I talk about the taste, I'm not just talking about the sex aspect, but I'm talking about take your time and study well.
Get to know them.
Get to know them
properly.
Very well.
Now, counselor, on say a mono check me to be a the chain,
But remember, say the taste of check. Yeah. And then the sustainability.
Be too much. For let's just get the next video. Nafe and also you do come up pepe.
Any woman who is taking care of a lazy husband is a fool. If you're a wife watching me, please pay attention and listen, and I won't say sorry to it. If your wife is doing very well, but the wife somewhere, something has happened, and she's the one providing for the husband who is a lazy man, The lazy man is making a fool out of the wife. This is not called a husband or a wife who is supporting the husband. This is called foolishness.
2022 top points. And I just hear review from 2021. And this is here. And what they were feeding to Kantanka TV, a counseling time. And ye gusu Merrick Kuto, ye chow baby biara wo. Counselor,
yeah.
Let's just say what ba ya bo say we yes so boafo. Na bibia tu ukunu. Na wo boa no. Nanka we di anka bone ben pa nanka. Ewo mu a enye easy say ensama kese a 2021 what the man is.
Onyame Adam, he wasn't a lazy man. He was actually working by taking care of a garden, a whole nation, a whole kingdom, a whole palace. Oba ne ba no se be sesubafo oba ne ba na adwuma wo hode da. So be sesubafo means I can support and help the man to fulfill the vision. In other words, he's already doing something, but come and support. In other words, when a man does nothing, he becomes a liability to family and society and community, including his family. In other words, what I'm saying is that wanya be ma ye na di no ope bi no onya bi.
Sir.
Pacho ti o.
Etie o pa.
Wanya be ma no ye adwuma. Ye na di. Say watching applications I am far no. I don't know what some na make. Wanya be ma na kakra woni se mo no ye di business. Sabi scanner she kwan bi so. Ko invest in the area no. Or the koto, a plot of land in asema ba ho. Bibi na amfa. Enyo no na make. Make a lazy man. A lazy man is somebody who doesn't want to touch nor do. Debi anu akani na abo so no tifie no TV. That the area no cross or circuit remote control no changing candles. So I am talking about somebody who doesn't want to add up, refusing to perform God's command. Work is a command. God has commanded humanity to work. So listen, Adam, you're born depending on say work, cultivate, plant, take care. In other words, every man must be somebody who is a provider, a caretaker, a house band. You can't sit at one place and become a caretaker.
Okay.
No. So then I am identifying this particular man called a lazy man.
Okay.
In other words, he doesn't want to function as a man. So when a woman takes the role of a lazy man, that woman is just becoming a fool. The sad thing is this. The man taking care of the children, the woman taking care of the children is not the problem.
Okay.
The woman providing for the family, including the man, is not the problem. But when the man enjoys the woman as a lazy man, the man is a fool.
Counselor, now say no, and they've come to a conclusion because women stay in the house. We have housewives.
They are not serious.
Okay.
As a good wife.
Yeah, it's actually an understanding. Say ya kasa ama yenyina ya tiase okay wo betena fie wo behwe nkwala no na me makwa akobre me
moje na chibi na fe de be ma isa betwa mpoa na be ma call by na the sika nso a oba no wamu na because you are a wife who is doing nothing contribute that she work asakra na obedi watem na nya bisoro be mo no beka say listen if you am na me biam na mcha beso then I you fear e kola keke so be shom problem then I now we your boss then I na obisa no say you were the same person who told me I should work. Now you come back telling me then I me it's as if I don't contribute. And listen, any woman who doesn't contribute, you can lose your respect, your honor, your dignity, who you are in the eyes and the sight of your husband.
Nature say household duties and making sure say house is whole enough no ninyana
I was say some husbands etua o magere mo kaboso me say watra fi arrizin kwala no ahwen kwala no adware kwala no na be uja kwala ma me 1 hour me frɛ be 7 times na be hwe ba na me nko ba bi na me ye ni satan men are not gifted, most men are not good, taking care of children in the house. So oyiri krahwe nkwala ne keke ye dwuma enya dwuma kuma. But men, most of them don't see it like that. Say raising kids in the house enya dwuma nti wakoba na wan ye fi wakoba na bibi nko ya ofi say you are such a lazy woman so much that enkwala tu keke wo hwe o so wampra kwala tu ahwe wan ru chance denkwa so to avoid such a man who will not come with that ugly tongue and come speak to you anyhow, just avoid it. Look for something to do. At least bail no utia yebetia. So I'm coming back to the lazy man.
Yeah.
This is a man who has decided not to do anything at all. I am not talking about situations. Say owobi opebi we university watch application e bimba ye hwa na bimba ye fa ne compile e bia na ya honbone but ennan chance why every effort onya no eno na but this is a lazy man. There are men like that. They are so lazy that they don't want to do anything. Ono na make us we yere na wo hwe na. Do you know what you are doing? You are investing in an empty barrel. What is going to happen is that one day when this man is able to get their feet, most of them do not appreciate their days when they were nothing, that the wives raised them.
Enti naturally say May 2022. Se wukunu nye na adwen se wo bebre na wape adwuma aye se ne be ya monsa bekoma no de naturally say adwuma hunu sebe na counselor say wudi enti yesrew na naturally say watimi atunefo na bibia akoso kama studio ha aye hihihie. Let's take the next video.
When we say baby to say Europe, UK, no money, na say for America, Canada, and well, abroad for no. But say some and most of the men are not taking care of the house. A man no na ye dwumenye skado do ebu o kwala na o ma wo no. Well, kwala na say about church o mka enti o mo tiri sika no. But say man ebu okra mem okay. Awade bebregu abrochira enye because oba na ye bad, be man na ye bad. Problem back and Kolani omutiri sika no be man ni oba na ekon wa fa mama eh na oba na bi okra ye tia de ka wo fa ntia bebu so fie o ye be ma boni se we ya no aka kire oba ne se na Kolani sika no de ye den na ba cho mi bisa se nya abrochire na be pie wo Ghana ha na nke Kolani sika kire de be ye den. You understand what I'm saying? Be ma tie and found near bicycle what they and Kwalawa Bruchiri. A man has to be a man, a man has to be a father, and a man has to be a caretaker.
Yes. Obi Beka say abroche aware die 50-50. 50-50. Enye asem ketua. Counselor ewo nchiremu edemaye wo video.
The original plan of God, marriage is not just 50-50.
Yeah.
100 anyway.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to responsibilities, a father must be a father.
True.
Like I said about Abrochire for no.
Yeah.
Abrochire member be brave. Some of them are even making properties in Ghana. Our noble krum without the consent of their wives.
True.
You understand?
Yeah.
So what is happening is that I expect to say you chambo franica. It is for says kana shambo frano. But as a man, we are shopping for sikaye. It's a blessing for you. When a man you have money and you are spending it on your family, hey, you are doubling your blessings. Nyame say bishirawa udwen umma ho. Bishirawa udwen abusuano. Bishirawa you are looking for the welfare of your family. I don't know bishirawa. The member be bregu abrochire omo problem here wo mo yere ene de enti oba ne giska ne say wo ba ne tai wo fie hwe nkola reason to normally ye ko yeska de o masana na oba ne tie bia nkola ne ye 4 tabrochire ko bi jiga out me wo 5. So you be shankola na mana 5 no akola bi age bi 1,000 euro 500 euro 800 euro whatever to calculate it say a month me yere je 3,000 euro 2,000 euro 2,000 euro or the year te onu de ye chia no but the sit down Ghana de ye chia no wonu de sie de ye chia no nya kakra no de bopone abre ne mpena. So what we are saying is that a man is a man. Abrochire chia we ko abrochire government in chia we ko as a man be a man. And stop relying on Nkwalesika.
US crowd there or the file Nkwala no mo file taxes. Send you the amount of money I was spending ni no or the corner chira ban se me wo ba omutimi twa so discane watimi adi ni nyina akura sa de ma ho emmo.
Why is it not beautiful? To baba na jamuna abusunya ina anya ahin da buy obusampo because they know they just know na be me kuta $1,000.
Yeah.
Busumi adwuma awaye after paying bills oba na boa be ma aboa na akwara ne nkola ne sika $3,000 dollars na buy ono $1,000 nche se ba kokora ntofo adaya na aban sika ro de ben nkola na ewai. No, don't do that.
2022 the Comfort Vicdange Healthcare and na ede amount Merrick Couture and so ebehwe amba onhuaye fefefe Fabric Center Mr. and Mrs. Kufu Boateng so say bra na woman hwe na bibia enkoso kama enfama don't be left out. 2022 the ye Comfort adepa enkoa and na ede amount ye share the next video ni entoaso.
See, some men are so unthinkable that they will not allow you to talk. Once they are men, they think that what they say should be final. Then they are trying to raise animals in the house. Because when you have animals, you command them to act and do what you want. And listen, human beings are not animals. We are people that must listen and also bring our suggestion on board.
Yeah.
You understand? So if you are a good man who is responsible and you can deal with your ego and whatever, please, you suggest to a wife, you don't command the wife.
Naturally say so fudie and counselor and my yes a bema dear. Once you become a husband or father, is a ministry on its own. You don't command, you suggest. Counselor.
Yeah. You are a commander.
Yeah.
But you don't command and expect those under you to obey when you are not an example. So what you do is that, one, my lifestyle is an example in the house. So before I say Jack, my wife, my kids, they know my movement. They understand the language.
True.
Hey, you don't do that. We are not raising animals kingdom where lion is the head. And then they need to, once they hear the lion roar, like, everybody has to, we don't do that. A father is somebody who makes the house a house.
True.
In fact, a father doesn't just make a house, a father makes a home. And the wife makes a house. So what a father does is that, just by, imagine you go to town, and you call your wife and say, maybe if you also catch kakra. Kakra means, gosuba ha ye hontoyen. Tie gakra utu kwa akra na friend hello babe nyame aduma be chena bo sa na time aso twen kakra se yempe wo fie ho because wo wa ye ho ntoyen uni hey kola huri wo huri pi that is coming yeah dodge. So what I'm saying is that don't be a father we are afraid of. Be a father we love, that when you are not around we miss your presence so much, because when you talk you allow me to also talk. And then by humility, we listen to each other just to build the family. Me who say in this century, and I say, "Sisi ano me konenim normal esesa." Teteno na say what say papa na pakeka na say wapaki moto. I'm sorry to tell you this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Even though they are still in the system, but me person me chere say it is getting better. What you don't know, you define it from your tense. Because you have not heard and you never experienced, it is still happening. It is not getting better. It is still there. Where some like fathers are still lions. You hear their voice. Or to know TV. Now me hello Kojo Mikodo to nu nyansa se me TV. They na ye no se nyansa bia nim. Hwenkwala no mu nja jimi na mu jimi na ne nipa nya ade. Nipa nya ade. Emwa no wa come no to. You don't do this. A lot of wives and children are broken hearted. They are not happy because of the way the father behaves. Wow. Okay. Enti yenhwe the next video na afi eno nso yentwetwe ho nkomo pepepe. Me see your marriage can increase you or reduce you. And you na make say bembe bi wo so wanye ye bia because of a baby or wade no. Wade wo ba bonia which anyway ni mu say. I know young men who are doing well. I know some men who were doing well right from the beginning of their marriages. They were doing so well financially, and they have nothing to talk about. They say your marriage can reduce you. No, it increase or you. Increase you. Say we bedroom mpempensuo bi anase wundrum mpempensuo bi de awade na ebechere counselor sansi sudua na chire mu kwa chire die nti a wo kasa. Oh, I've seen a lot of men who were potentially blessed by God. They were dreamers. They were gifted and talented. Chese nanka we ye manakwenya wa bone bra no ko be kopa papa. But oba no ko fa no wa mo abofom wa san wo. Ukofa wo ba ye wo ba bone a be ma wo che wa brabom. Wo ye wo ba pa ho ofe wo ni suade hunu wo da ache efe. A lot of people are stuck. They are not moving. In life, they are retrogressing. Why? Because of who they are married. If you marry a wrong person, you suffer the rest of your life. Yeah, your spiritual life will go down to the drain. Your physical life will be nothing to talk about. Every aspect of you, nothing than bitterness and frustration. Okay? Who you marry determines what you become and who you become. What you become about life, who you become concerning your destiny, your future. Increase or decrease, and counselor Amayati says, so Bakuanim and I say, Wobbo from Crade, Awade, and so a year a dear a bit to me
akyerɛ wodache ankasa ade bi nso a senior counselor kana no kuretrodo na answer na ye behwe next video no counselor na kyerɛ sɛ den so na wo hu sɛ nipa we wo bɛboa me ana sɛ nipa we nso ho moa me.
So I have said it several times. Dating, courtship, marriage. In the process of courtship, we sit to talk about as well. We ask few questions that are relevant, important, and very, dear to us. And branch, like I said, that when you are courting, it's not just about sex. You go blind. I've said it several times. So once we keep questioning ourselves and we're able to get answers to ourselves from few angles, me no bon command, me no kasa, me no bon command. Between so you about now dating the man me say ope. Esan say when we were dating, kakra me who or who me say we are industrious. We are somebody who can add to the table. We will be only nyansa. We are hardworking. And the man me say opa you start a courtship. Courtship no see you susa to sunu bank kakra me and sana ma wade wo. So I have said this that if courtship is not done well, marriage will suffer.
Okay, inti na kyerɛ sɛ nsɛm a counselor kano wo say answer na wo bewura awade mu no na kyerɛ sɛ nipa na wo ne na twempena na wo sɛ oto wo ase na wo hu na nkasa what you see you saw, what you saw you see. Inti enye sɛ bia bibia besesa bouquet decoration enya de besesa nipa na esuban inti na kyerɛ sɛ emfa no enye conclusion pepepe. Okay, inti ma me ndwane na me nko Facebook family say o ma fe ye ankasa na menko kinkan messages ni bia pop ba na afe nso ye dwane ni akọ WhatsApp nso na yakọ kinkan messages ni bi so ewo honom. I keep on saying we miss you. Okay, Obapa Hansen say we miss you. Okay, Nanesi Apia was miss you daddy. Share and also ye dear koso ewa ahase Newman Joshua say happy new year family. I hope and pray we all have a great year, better than last. Amen. Ghana Ahasiros Nilin or say great work, counselor. Bedu Angela says, I like the first topic. Okay. Jonelle Dache says, we are back again, of course. Obapa Hansen says, shine thy eyes, ladies. And Yasam Kitua 2022 to Azanfo name. Okay. Rain Pipra says, God bless you, Papa. Mavis Yabua says, my favorite program is back. We miss you guys. We miss you too. Josephine Johnson says, thank God you guys are back. We're missing you all. Yes, ya femo. Send ya mofi yen so ya femo no mbo. Joshua Yelson says, it's true. When a man is not working, you become a liability to family and society. On also the audio, but what in Kandeku Priscilla says, Counselor and Valerie, God bless you and welcome. Yadasi Bibri. And so say Wamaya Kwabasrun Kokra. Prince Kofi Adran Amwa says, housewives are not serious with Counselor. Hey, Counselor, what do you have to say about this? So I say housewives are not serious. No, there are certain women with the issue of childbirth. No, as no be any process our family. A bit more undergo cesarean section. A bit more so go through the normal vaginal birth na sa pepepe. Na obi why because of the process I will go through the childbearing process. Nintino. Want me enye excesses until they always recommend say nipa ntnefi then it becomes the order of the day nanso nipa no koso eye adwuma pepepe say fie adwuma ne ade enti na kire say wo housewives nya na enye serious ana.
I think that he should change what he wrote here. He said housewives are not serious. Yeah. Be sure say obeso can say some are not serious. Say ya kasa no. So they be any nipa no from housewives are serious. Look, I'm saying it again. As men, most men are not appreciative. I'm sorry. We are not appreciative. Men, most, and I'm sorry to say most, like 80%, they don't appreciate housewives. Because for a housewife to wake up early morning, sweep around, depending on where they stay. I'm telling you. The compounds sweep around, put things in order. I show mama to school. Say school bus in there before. So the back share chira some yenusa. A travel queen. Say school ni ben na embe what do mo kokra san ba. I said was stand upon before the one called or say your breakfast. I never tell you. So some of the men think that this is something you can do. But within 1 hour, 2 hours, my men were we to stay. We say 2 hours and as we share, the Bama here, they say, well, we own your share, and the department and the Quaba, or then our year. Me wa chọ me siraw. Sa within 1 hour no ye aduane ye breakfast. Edware nkwala ne hye omontade ana wo si wo. Ana wo so adware abogya wo kwa adwuma no. You don't know what happened. Obesi nioma. So washing machine ni wa ansa na odi fie nioma tutu. Obeba na dem wa ye neat. Unum kwala ba akofo me se me kan tam se me ba ya me dem fi. Me boni boro ma ne sinyina tutu. Se ne drawing no, ye draw bi won pass, ye draw bi wo wall, ye draw bi wo kitchen, right? What the phone to your papa screen. Like nothing works around the house. So but then over here, you need see. To over you see otherness in the house. And you think it is easy? It is not. Sure. You job boframa bema or you kunua pa baakwa just a day utimi ye course and I frustrated utimi tisebe pupu san we dwa. It's like what is women take pupu out of their babies whatever and they do it by singing praise and worship. And you wonder whether pupu your praise and worship music, I don't know. It's like you be hey baby oh tiadi yes ye tia ya hini because you know, so being a housewife, we the men, we must appreciate our housewives, unless say there is a house help supporting, okay? And no crime still, madam does a lot of the work if she's not lazy. Nevertheless, say house girl and a house help. Sorry, now madam sorry now you say here. Say no, they are show or no house help yeah, but no she and no my commander. Then you can identify her as a lazy woman or a lazy housewife. Then
you can identify her as a lazy housewife. Yen share your last part one video na afe and also ya je ho adwenkyere pepepe.
It can elevate you or pin you down. What from what can, especially most men or my car woman to me sorry. Now remember that the early stages, I said that marriage has to do with your soul. It has to do with a covenant. It has to do with God. Spiritually, something happens. So, it can pin you down. Because baby, so marriage is not when you're physical. The spiritual side is when there are forces in the house of the woman, the forces in the house of the man, and when you marry them, they will make sure that if you are young one day, you cannot be elevated. They will pin you down.
Has turned from counseling to directing and preaching. And yasem ketwa nature say yes ana who said no reverend abam sofudie no and so abam pepepe marriage will either pin you down or take you to the next level. Nature say Delilah, excuse me, counselor.
When your baby to say Jezebel, you are dead. See, let me explain a few things here. And your fear be a money or what day.
Sir pepepe.
Fear be what do more bema, sheberes son. Or Barbie or what. O wadin wa shebere sesa
sa
be me bi wa wadin na wa bregu be me bi wa fa no obi bia say enie o ba bi wa yan wadin fie abusua bi me say abusua de fie o wa didin men hwe na ntu en hwe to en hwe nufo en hwe nim fefe e ya hwe de atifie o nso wate na wo sunsum nye den it will be able to overcome some forces of darkness. Don't try and play games. For example, ukofa wo ba na bema marine spirit tinimu, spiritual marriage or that covenant. Now when you're spiritually strong enough, prayerful enough, you are dead.
True.
He's doing well financially. Kofa sa wo ba no usika nyina adwiriba fom. And you wonder what happened. Why would you this kind of year? Why would bra boy about business ayera, sika ayera? Sa should wo baby wa she's doing very well, but be ma brunsan bia wo kofa no. Be ma no kofa efie ni nye. Sunsun bia wade no. Ya ka sunsun awade a you think it's a joke? I'm telling you, ade ehu wo wiase ye wo ba na be ma owo sunsun awade. Ya se ne maame awade no. Ne nana awade na efie wankasa ya wade mema ni nyina, ya wade mma ni nyina awade eni ho. But wo wasi obuse okofa ni okofa wa pa atwe bia ko 41 days wa pa Yesu hu one day because the battles you are about to encounter you have no idea.
O say on pa Yesu hu one day.
Say Yesu you 40.
Into 41.
At least we beat record. Yesu be so serious. Yeah. Both is suko 40 days. We have 41 we beat Elijah and so
Let's say Wisdom Center, your 14 days in the nature say Nukwasa, ye Didi Agro Royal Believers Ministry, Obi Aramechia Munina. Ye share your last final video, Nafi, ye de Diaka Atwaso.
You can never know more about marriage unless you consult the man who created marriage. The only person who can open your eyes and give you knowledge, skill, wisdom about marriage is the one who created it. His name is God. If you don't consult him, in other words, marriage must be your spiritual priority. If you don't have time to pray, you play. Our dear empire, couples you to be mompire, bompire was bompire bo, Bema de be our bre, but to me kasa or WhatsApp, or to me chat or phone so, but so a bre, ya mompire or mo, or Bema no crank and your fasting da, one fasting da, mompire da. There is no spiritual harmony, unity, there's no meditation, there's no money devotion, there's no quiet time, nothing between the spouse. Forget it, because see, the man who created marriage has the ability to help you walk through it and come through it. But if you don't consult him, you are trying to tell him that I can handle this by strategy.
Anka sato ne boase na se wo hwe ni videos a eto de bi etime gene se obusa ne ho se ena nyankopon da wase nyansa dodo a wodi adom me boa me ne koso ma me nyansa se ne be ya o manfo metimi asomo mo na masomo sompa enti wo hwe video ye etwato ekura na kire se spiritual harmony and speaking to your maker with regards to mumumi enu as a couple no and na kire se ebai enti counselor spiritual harmony couple bia na was a go directly to God and I say to their deity and I say the osusu say was some no ono na was all connected.
Okay, so everybody believes in God.
True.
I would say everybody.
True.
I mean, few people. Bible says sebi. Ojeje ni nchiri, and I will be a sebi. I'm sorry. Ojimini no beka so nyambi bia ni ho. I mean, about 100% and about 99%, human. Everybody believes that there is God.
Yeah.
Muslims believe there is God, Hare Krishna God. But when it comes to relationship with Christ, what relationship with Christ. Now, you need to understand that if God is the one who created marriage and instituted it, then it means that from the garden, he did it. And everybody who believes in creation must understand that there is a man called God in charge of the affairs of man. He rules and he reigns. Nobody overthrow him or dethrone him. So what happens is this, very simple.
Yes, sir.
What day? And what day? Bekano. What they line boundaries. Atutu was say ya montranko ni say ya nyeni say hwe one nyeni say na ye ni say be say. Now if you really want your marriage to work as couples, every day you must go here, plead for the mercies of God to help you through the way. See, you can only manage marriage by wisdom, not by knowledge.
True.
Knowledge is when you can read a lot of books, it can help a little, but wisdom surpasses all.
True.
Eti wonyamima wunyanse kura wawadia de wasa ubufu otobo de wasa sabe woye wonya no de wasa ade awade jayaba efamba because mumiedu de bia bukura musebe rade boayen ye de awade ye hyewonsa ye de ye awade fo eta bompa ya hwomomba mumani munyansa papa nyame chop wisdom ba ni nimade wo school awade fo enta bompa bibiri mabom oh it's another bullet. I'm telling you this.
Hey.
I'm telling you this. Onyame. Bible says when your way pleases the Lord, he has a way to bless you and your family.
True.
I'm telling you, don't play. Say, when your couple na buta bompa, they be maso akola nsa. Akola na ebeda, you lay hands, pray, speak into their lives, over their lives, activate God factor in their lives. Your children are unique in school. But they are born, they are share.
My God.
They mama mompa ye. They mama mompa. Or that no ada. Or sorry ya mami bedi wachi. Just say no format. I hope you understand me. It's a very serious thing.
They all can
Number two, they don't understand that God factor. Say yes, your mom pay and papa before we go to school. Because who be that? Them mami nyebi, the papa nyebi. Then son and son and mom pay. Adum 3 years will pray before she sleeps. Wake up in the morning, say good morning, and kneel down and pray and speak words. Father, I commit my night to your hands. Take care of me. Amen. Why? Because not because I'm a pastor, forget it.
Debbie.
Because you need to introduce Christ to her life. Teach a child the way they should grow.
It's a Christ team.
So that when they grow, they don't depart. They can't deviate. Even when they deviate, the God factor, the Spirit of God will bring them back to the track.
True.
So I'm telling you this. Obani bema wadefo ensomunsa and I'm on time Mompires and a mother, and I watch any crowd the whole week once. We are busy, Dodo. The one Thursday, what Saturday, they are coming in Bible for the family and our children. But the moon be that. Yeah, better. Call your boy. So, Bonnie Pabre, Nabo. No, about Adichi, Pabre, no, about Adicha. Because you do and young boy, Jay, my Bobby, the editor. No, you don't do that. So, please, I'm saying that couples who pray together are always together.
Couples who pray together are always together. Nature say, and ne counselor Maya Tias, and Pibo, Ebian no man so, and na Edinshira Bibri so, and nam. It's 2022, and yes, I walk off terminal report, no one check your no one can say, your spiritual growth is connected to our Kurano resource. Into yen na bibia koso kama. Counselor sitting in a Pibo, na homework so. Wahwe na bibia so akoso kama ye bie ye phone lines na tum ye nim se mafe frɛ na ene ye ntwetwe nkomo nsɛm a yato ye boase videos ahaba ene nsɛm a yato ye boase ya pense mu akeni nyina no wonso wadwe nkyerɛ ɛna afe nso wonso ususu sɛ deɛn ɛna kyerɛ sɛ enko emfa emaye ma menkeka messages ni bi ɛwɔ Facebook nansa na no Mayemfa, your first caller, ahomane so. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, Medofu 2022 pa, wo de etia no pa no went to be nyina so yi. Ade ye me ya. Okay. Ernestina Tete says, Valerie, I think every woman must work, at least do something for yourself. And also your dear counselor, Akaho Asempepepe. Kojo Heneba says, I just like counselor. He's full of wisdom and I have learned so much from what he says. Val, you look really beautiful. Thank you so much. Nyankopon inshira onso medofo. Upon Kechecheku, was it Josephine Jameson? Some of the women too are not serious and all they care about is fighting with their husbands with child support money. Internet say we know your friend international conversation. Won't tiasia. Child support enye Ghana ha say kasa. Wo de ye papa esika na adua esika feeding fee. Yeah, feeding fee.
Yeah.
Abroche for na catch child support.
Yeah.
Into way international war.
Yeah.
Facebook. Okay. And Simmons to Josephine Jamson says, counselor will kill me. Or James Spencer says, hey, sweetheart, please, you're going far. Okay. Okay. On also reply, what they Emma Obino no Abna Chumwa says, couple who pray together are always together. Thank you so much, counselor. Sarah Beffy say, I just joined Dickness in Mawakwaba. James Spencer say, yes. So Prince Pablo Cole says, good advice, counselor. God bless you. Okay. Inti mami enjane na afe minko WhatsApp and so na afe minko share the ekoso wohonum. Also beautiful program by all standards. We thank God the counseling time is back on track. We missed you too. Okay. Yewo obi ewo ahomane so. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, me dofo me pacho udini baby akase free wadaruma.
Me pacho ye friend me Rose Jane.
Ah. Papa
me kasa free amasama obeyi.
Okay. Me pacho ye few.
Ni dindi Gogota Bible Believing Church.
Okay.
Mibra. Me na wari mfie bebre 1990. Ana nyame edi adom no adom me na me de ye dwuma.
Okay.
But the counselor can baby. I be there. Na me so makoma so ade ni sanka me pesanka me so menye ewura. Me so ye nsam ni ya pompaye. But papa no na koma de na dwin ni sade dati. Enti tete me abri bia me guso amekasa. Na ya na me first born hye me nkuran say.
Sir.
Ni nya abotare na mrepam no. Na me tu bisan say mrepam ko si daban.
Oh.
Na urade be peja ne nsa.
Sa pepepe.
Eti mu program ya dia meta hwe pa. Eti ha me pese counselor so o mo me kakra.
Okay.
Mo ye program e kra ko friend so metie bat. Wa fa jin na ye den. Ama. Mo program no e bi wa no pa. Se me so na me nya hwe fast. Ama ye na biane. Se me so na ye bibin so a me wi ansa. Well, we look at the daddy, and you be a near now, baby. No, yeah, so some of the Obano, and yet that's a Yakoya Yamin Mawaya Yamin Kuaya, yes, no, daddy, like that. ya hu kwan ya de be fa so think a counselor aha me pese omo am na so na se nye be ya metumi akoso ni gususu gu awurade so
Sa.
de ne nsa be ka papa na kuma ye den se awurade de ne nsa be ka papa no
Yati Mama Rose. Okay.
Aye.
Mama Rose say ye dasi bebe counselor so ebe you no pepe counselor.
That is very simple. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Nakumedi. But most men, their problem is they easily become familiar with their wives.
True.
So men be brino and check. Na ne yere wabeya normal. So the same wife goes out and people appreciate her so much. But she comes home and the husband, doesn't see anything unique about the wife.
Yeah.
You see, so the problem probably with the man is that wabeya very familiar with the wife. Her moves, her beauty, her nakedness, everything about her is normal. But like she said, she should keep doing it. She shouldn't change the rhythm of the marriage. I mean, onward yaneno, on mompire man, on to neboa and to wasiam pampa, women could be kakra, the man will come back.
Send me an PSA ne kase butre.
I mean, the man has become too familiar with the wife. But bompa or the empire cra general. There are some men like that. Or the empire any soon some margina, Masuda and Yamina. Mazagara way near the Pangan home. You know, but it shouldn't be so. Okay, so it shouldn't be so. About Beatrice Ewo Ahomane. So hello, Mambi.
Yes.
Yes, me do for me patcho yet you.
Aha, me patcho me wo how kitwe bi na me dey to manim.
Okay.
We need to counselor name. Me sister kitwa e worry.
Okay.
Na be ma ne kan so yesofo. Ena me nua me gitu mo.
Okay.
Wa ware no fefefe. 6 years ni ye ni mu say problem. E wo say be ma no. Oni atari fo ne sere. Ohu me nua na on kasa na 6 years ni. Ena me nua na atena ho a obi sa na osi o. Na me die me kan say yes aware bi e program obunti obejai. Ti me go so bom pa yes obejai. Na ye ko ho e ko solve issue ni me mada. The way a bear no demonstrating is so much na ye hu. O si me dia sa na me tie. Me nsre me dia aware kra dia me value aware ya me time.
Oh.
Intimity onko. Ye ka bibia o si me si onko. Ye ka bibia me dia me me kan say me dia me so by me nsifa nti onko. Na me bisa ne say what we ye sofo no. So be the same problem e ba we ni ma. Kwan a wo be fa so so say onko ana o si an.
Wow.
Inti ama ese o se no so ye sofo na ni suban bia 6 years I mean any this problem wo no so kan true bia nti enyo no be ma na ni suban bi ma ye ko a aka bia na ye nua ni beti ana ni be siesi so no so mpe no wan mo ye basabasa wa boa be ma no wo kwan bebre so nso enne be ma no se suban na me nua o ni kra nka so mpe na ni me
Samo. Enti sisi amambi wa mama ti ase se wona wo ma me koye mu koka asem no ma be ma na yi ne suban di sisi ade en na wo pese counselor ma wadaroma.
Ni am bi sa counselor senti se aware ni me and dey o si anka wa ya teacher ni nti ankonya transfer dia obi free ho se obi hwere ne nkwade na me bi sa so ya ne sa be yi ana.
Okay, counselor.
This is marriage. I am very particular about when I'm addressing marital issues on TV.
True.
You don't conclude.
Yeah.
Ofre be man or the obeka. Ofre oba na or the obeka. Antin so I can hear from afar.
It's a third party.
Thank you. I come from the Wafasi and this is Abano side. So now you can conclude. But then baby I make a saka cry. Or some call Beman if you Beman is on the answer. Sasan wakanwa. Pachu chika so Sasam pampan akwanikana. Let's separate the calling from the character of the guy. See, God is able to use everybody, anybody, at the time when God wants to. But the character of a person, that must change is the problem. This guy, according to him, is a pastor. But the Christ factor in him has not affected his character. Eti, enye sofudie no keke. Ana enye nyamesom ne keke. Nyamina awosum no watu mu no. How far have you gone with God? So for me, they are complaining saying that so they should look at the character from the calling and deal with the character, not just the calling.
The character, not just the calling. Hello, Nana.
Hello.
Yes, Nana. Nana, when dum TV na mente wonka o. Adaroma. Hello, Nana. Okay. Na chere say when tim Medofo gina ye ma me yente wonka kra e na fa so TV set no when dum na ye feedback ne ye nya ne wa ha pepepe director mesrew na wahwe na wadi ho dwuma e de amayen okay enti wantimi enyina so pepepe James Mensa said, I just heard you, but all of the men are like that. Some of the women are same. You hear what Papa is saying, please, sweetheart, don't go far. Okay. And also the Ajekum Samuel says, please, I've been married before and we are divorced. We have 2 kids and I do take care of the kids. But my spiritual father told me that she has caused me at the bathroom and I don't know what to do. Please help me. May sure say curse na walk na chere say akoda ne course.
Oni be ma na wa na be ma na dome no.
Woni oba no na oba na dome no according to me patcho and spiritual father na
na onya vision.
Me ntimi chere.
On my set I don't talk about visions and prophetic.
Yeah.
I will not talk about.
Yeah. Minim say a statement we say.
If it's a statement fine. But when the prophet of God has seen the vision, that Obana Dome Bemana, I don't talk about it here.
Okay. Enti nature say sa pepe cursed.
Okay, curse.
I was a curse.
That's a Bema. Obana Dome Bemano.
Sa pepe.
Then we no domain. Na no me anu see adwuma na and the uncle Obana chowe. E cho na be pana no me enako.
Sa pepe. Okay. Enti abusuafo yeguso ye kenkan messages no WhatsApp ne de epuba pa na epuba. Sese nso ye beto ye bo ase na ye dwane na yakofa Telegram kakra na ya besia ba sese de ye bebo ye homode. Ye technical team so mbehwe na obia kakra Facebook, Instagram, Telegram ni ahwe na obia messages ni yetimi apeke kakra free babia ni yetimi akenkan ni nyina. Enti follow Kantanka TV wo social media handle platforms ni so nyina, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook na kire se woni yen wahu de ekoso wo Kantanka TV so pepepe ye wo ye last caller wo ahoma ne so. Hello. Mr. Maxwell.
Yeah, I'm saying that man.
Okay, so for mpacho yeti o wadaroma.
Me pa wo cho. Aso mo kan te otofo na ni ko so e wa. Ya o se wa na bi. Am ka te share o to pa na to me so onko no. O se pa no ko no. Mo se kasi bi. Na ni jiro o nyasa o sa be na ya bono. Kasi ku bi a wo agi. Any nyase kata. What does it?
Sir.
Any person, I think of Bamabia, I see I don't know a bed of. Toffolo, whatever of Papa. Toffolo. But Toffolo has put Yaka, but just to put it slow. They said, no, now answering, or I was to let's start with this or I was to. Let's say I was a form of a go back. No more saying, say again, and I was sick of our war. No one wants it. But it's not that, yeah. I won't kill one of them. That's it, you know. And when it was slow.
Yati.
Miss Solo, what to be back? Miss Slow.
Yati.
Remember to buy the part of why.
Yati.
One more, the rest of my own Simmons, the other thing. I'm not going back. No, all who say I'm not going to do it. Or I won't something that you.
Sir.
What would you expect?
Sir, pepe.
Now they were also classing Yassi, teaching them to one. And there's one back. Hello, what's it?
Me patrol you, so for Maxwell. Yati pepe, yada sensu nyame enshira unso ene wafutu.
I think that's all for Max Assemble. Can we see? Let's talk about this. Or say, Bearman is on once a Sunday Subai.
Sir,
the Otiano take. Now, what the other pan on Pebium. So already the gentleman has declared. So on Pebium. So Omoko Pede will be for me. ana sofo no wa kire omom koye ni say onye interested and on sesa nti for me crowd like sofo max say omko pede ho and one say they should protect their daughter when you mistake also aboa no see uti asem no say omobaba no waboa sofo nipa for all you know your opportunity for all you know now who kire bi no hiammoa and the ma pay oba no but one penny so do no na momemboa nti so I think the deal is sealed.
Councillor, major will final words.
My final word is 2020. Nyambere ye nyina yensu ade. Matters of the heart family ye chiamu. Ye start ye gathering. Ye start ye di muaye beba. Ne a kire mo da ye be fiase. Obetumi afrem mo 0244 515544 0244 515544. Beba cho upe books ni bi nso a books ni bi ho. And also betumi afrem the same number and then you get it. Dimechi or all the social media handles. DY Donkoh.
DY Donkoh and afin so YouTube the Nation's Counselor na kire se wa follow and also na kire se what the video so to na bibia ekoso kama no hu Instagram champoma 332 and afin so Facebook Valerie J Mensa Ebens Pizza and so wo fie ha say obehwe ama anwumre 2022 de ahase no yenum droko na bibia nso akoso kama de amaye Princess Oredua Ajekum and Montessori School kaswa nyankopon hira onye okese oma wakoma so ade nyina emrem happy birthday enkoma wo and afin so happy birthday enkoma Devina Sechiwa ba erade enhira yadofo amunya bre etwe bre ehwe se ne be ya counseling time ye nyina ye bedwane na yaba na munyina mudi odo abodom ye domu nyina Facebook family ye domo chese baby biara wo biara wo nya abotre ehwe ye nyina ye domo books no ye guso eton no so pepepe Wednesday nyampa ye behia midi dache hima pepebi Obagadoza Legated 2022 Valerie Ejamensa Macron.